Hey everyone, it's Miranda. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hey, for the first time, why don't you subscribe, become the newest member of the Slashed Squad. Here I review products you won't feel guilty buying and do looks you can actually recreate at home. Today I have another edition of Tame, my main Where Did This Series Go? I used to do a lot of videos testing out hair tools that would be able to actually work on my thick, unruly hair. Now clearly it doesn't look that way now because I used the Revlon Pro Collection Salon one-step hair dryer and volumizer. So a few things to get out of the way. Revlon did send me this tool to review. They're sponsoring this video and there's a promo. If you do want to check this out for yourself, you can save a little moolah. Check the link for details in the description. If you've been subscribed to me for a while, then this tool may look familiar to you because it's very similar to another one from Revlon that I reviewed many years ago. That one was a dryer and styler that had a paddle brush head, whereas this one has more of a round brush shape. So this one-step hair dryer and volumizer is, just like the name suggests, supposed to blow dry your hair, get it from wet to dry, but also style it, give you some volume and a nice sleek finish. And spoiler alert, I love it. As someone with thick hair that takes forever to style, especially now that it is getting long, this has been such a great tool when I need to shower and style my hair in the same day. Now I've mentioned before in some of my other videos, I don't blow dry my hair very often, and part of the reason is because it usually takes so long with a standard blow dryer. So usually my routine consists of showering at night, letting my hair air dry before bed, and then the next morning I'll heat style it with either a flat iron or a curler or crimper or whatever. But there are times where I need to shower and style my hair in the same day. I don't have time to let it completely air dry, in which case I would blow dry my hair completely and then move on to heat styling it with another tool. Not only does this take forever, but it's a lot of heat on my hair all at once that can cause damage and breakage. So when tools like this come out, I'm always intrigued because not only do I love things that streamline my routine, but I also love things that actually get me an end result that looks similar to as if I did my entire routine. All right, so let's talk about this tool, how it works, how I use it. So clearly what makes this different from the other Revlon hair tool that I had reviewed a while back is the oval brush design. So clearly this oval shape is pretty unique. There are curved sides for smoothing the hair and rounded edges so you can really get that volume and curled ends just like a salon blowout. Now excuse the hair in the bristles right now because I've clearly used this a lot since getting it, but there are mixed bristles on the brush. They're nylon pin and boar bristles. And the combination not only helps really grip the hair, which is important when you want to work in kind of larger sections, but the boar bristles really help with shine. So you get a nice, sleek, smooth finish just like at the salon. It also uses negative ions to maintain a neutral charge throughout your hair to reduce frizz and static. Now I'll show you some clips of me using this on my wet hair. Because we are applying heat, I'm gonna go ahead and put on a heat protectant and just brush that through. And of course I'm gonna section my hair so that way we can get every strand styled. So once I have this on high, you're not gonna really be able to hear me, so I'm just gonna explain right now what I'm doing. So I'm gonna take a section of hair, and what I love about this tool is how wide it is. So I can really get a good section of hair and do it all together. Now, because you're drying your hair at the same time as styling, you do wanna work slowly and even pause while you're going down your strands, so that way you do get a thorough dry. If you're just passing it through quickly, you're not gonna get as thorough of a dry, and you're probably gonna have to go over the same section many times. So yeah, just go slowly, take your time, and then towards the end, I do like to twist the brush and get that rounded effect at the bottom. So I'm just gonna go ahead and show you how I do my first layer. So as you can see, we are done with the first layer and we have nice, smooth, straight hair, and you can already start to see a little bit of that volume up at the roots. Another thing I wanted to mention is I do hold on to this top section, which does not get hot while I work this through my hair. It's just a little bit easier to balance it when you are brushing it through. It makes it a little more ergonomic. And that is that. Look how nice that is, and we still have some volume up here and throughout. We've got some body to it. So at this point I would just use a little styling serum to lay down any flyaways, and then I'd be good to go. And as I'm using this through my hair, you can see that not only is it drying my hair, but it really is adding a sleekness and a smoothness that I don't usually get with a normal blow dryer. Usually when I blow dry my hair, you know, it starts out okay, but I start getting tired, it's taking forever, and I end up with a semi-straight look, but it's still very poofy, if that makes sense. But with this tool, I'm actually getting it styled how I like it, how it looks like if someone else was doing my hair. But what I also really like about the end result is that it's not just a pin straight look. I have body throughout my hair, I have movement, I have some volume up at the top, so it almost looks like a more naturally polished style. The One Step Hair Dryer and Volumizer has 3 settings, cool, low, and high, and these settings really make this a very versatile tool. High is usually what I use when I'm going from wet to dry, and so I do want the full experience of going wet to set, but I like to use low or cool if my hair's already dry and I just want to smooth it out. Low is really great if like I have a slight wave to my hair, maybe I have let it air dry and I just want to get it a little bit more straight and sleek. And then I like to use cool to freshen up the smoothness throughout the week, especially after workouts. I do not wash my hair every day, even if I am working out. I usually, you know, touch it up with a little dry shampoo, but if I want to really smooth out my roots, which kind of get wavy more quickly because of the sweat, then I will use a combination of the low and cool function. Now I do have a few tips to really get the most out of this tool. Usually when I'm blow drying my hair, I'm not blow drying it straight out of the shower sopping wet. Again, this is because I have a lot of hair, so it holds on to a lot of water, but even if you have thinner hair than I do, you really shouldn't be blow drying your hair just soaking wet, because it's obviously going to take more time to go from wet to dry, which means more heat, which means more of a chance of damage. So it's always a really good idea to thoroughly towel dry your hair, and if I have time, I'll even let my hair air dry for about 15 minutes before I go in to dry it with a heat tool. So I do the same thing with the hair dryer and volumizer. I let it dry just a little bit before I go in with this. What I do like about this tool though is because of the size of the hairbrush versus like your typical round brush, you're able to really grab larger sections of hair and dry it all at once, which I think is really nice. It really cuts down on the drying time. Now, a few things to watch out for when you're using the One Step Hair Dryer and Volumizer. This has the power of a really good hair dryer. It's blowing hot air and a lot of it, especially if you are on the high setting. So when you're working on hair that's near your face or your ear, you might feel that heat and it could, you know, get a little irritating if you're holding it too close to your skin. So just be sure to lift up a little bit so that way the air isn't blowing like straight onto your ear. And holding it up higher will also help with volume anyway, because you are kind of getting those strands to go a little bit up and out. The other thing that I suggest, and it's not really very fun to do, but something that I think will keep this in better shape, is to remove the hair from it after every use. For me, I shed a lot, so there is a significant amount of hair that kind of gets caught up in the brush from just, you know, what's loose on my head. But you don't want that to stay on or build up on the brush. You don't want it to, you know, find its way into the brush, because again, hot air is coming out of this, very hot air. You don't want the hair to like get into the brush or just stay on here being heated up over and over and over again, because then the hair that's on here every single time you use it is gonna start burning and smelling kind of icky. But that's just a simple maintenance thing, and if you don't shed as much as I do, that might not be as dramatic of an issue. But for me, I do shed a lot, and these boar bristles do pick up a lot of the loose hair in my head, and if I just leave it on there and I let it heat up over and over again, you start to smell the hair. Like I said, this not only cuts down on my drying time in general, but the fact that I don't have to go over my hair again with another heat tool to get it to look sleek makes such a big difference. Like, it's not doing a half dry, half style, it's doing a full dry and a full style. You're not compromising at all. I really love how my hair looks with this tool, even more so than the one that I reviewed a few years ago, because I really think that I get more of a done look. It's not just like a we're kind of there look, you know what I mean? So what do you think of the end result using the Revlon Pro Collection Salon One Step Hair Dryer and Volumizer? Do you think it's something that would work well in your routine? How long do you take to go from wet hair to completely styled hair? Because for me, it was a long time. And a lot of the times I would just kind of give up halfway because my arms would get tired. But with this, it's actually very lightweight. Even though it looks like a pretty hefty product, it's very lightweight and it's really easy to handle. I also feel like I get a more thorough dry with this brush because all of of these bristles are really separating the strands and making sure the heat covers everything. And again, just being able to work in bigger sections is always really nice for me. So you can get this at RevlonHairTools.com. Be sure again to check the link in the description for a special promo. So if you want me to start testing more hair tools again more consistently, hit the thumbs up button to let me know. If there's something specific you want me to test, leave it in the comments. If you haven't already, please subscribe, become the newest member of the Slashed Squad. If you've done all that, high five, but have you clicked the bell icon so you know every time a new video goes live? If you don't turn on video notifications, YouTube decides what's on your subscription page and not you. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!